cut me off because I'm live, but don't cut me off. I'll just have a chat with the guys in the live, and then once I start the story, I don't stop. So don't cut me off thinking I'm just going to be rambling through the whole thing, because I promise I won't. I'm just going to wait for a few people to join, and then I'm going to start, okay? So don't cut me off. Although I am here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. I'm sorry, I'm messing with my mic. I'm trying to get him in the frame, but I can't. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's in the frame. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. And I'm over on TikTok as well. I also upload these without the live on my pre-recorded ones as well. So you can there's so many to do. But I'm just going to say hi to the guys in the live, and then I'll start. So, hey everyone, how are we? How are we doing? I'm sorry to Hayley and Tiffany and Warwick and Phil for not replying to you all earlier. I'm so sorry. It's been a crazy day. We've had World Book Day. We had the little ones class assembly, which was a whole big thing. It was a whole big Roman production. Then I had to fly, and then it was my eldest one's parents' evening, which I had 3 teachers to see over a period of 2 hours, even though you only send 5 minutes apart. It was a whole debacle. So sorry I didn't get back to you. Yes, I'm feeling a bit better, still a bit, but I haven't really eaten much. So I'm scared to eat, if I'm honest. So yeah, but I'm feeling much better. But how are we all? How have we been? Like I say, so sorry about Tuesday, guys. Obviously I didn't do Jyoti Singh's story on Tuesday. I'm hoping to do it next Tuesday because it was a request. I have been asked to do it. But obviously tonight, stories I like to bring to you, it's not request night, so this is why we're doing a different one. Hi Natalie. Hi Beth, how you doing? Oh, Bran, is it you, Bran? Is it? Oh, I could have swore I seen Bran as well. How are we? Thank God, Jess. Oh, why? Why are you saying that? Oh, because I'm not doing that one. Is that why? Oh, I know you're not a fan of that one. I am going to have to do it Tuesday, though, Warwick. I know you're not a fan. How you doing, brother? Are you okay? Thank you for joining us. Oh, Warwick, I'm sorry. I know it. I was discussing it with Tiffany the other day, and I was saying it's crazy, really, which ones affect us. Like, I've got one that obviously stopped me doing any videos for a whole year. I just got to a point where I was like, I just can't. I can't understand the evil out there. And obviously that's your one. I think everyone hits that one story, don't they, where they're like, oh my God, what is going on in the world? Why are there such cressings out there that just, oh God, they're just awful. So yes, I do understand, Warwick, 100%. I do understand. So I'll do it Tuesday, but then yes, I'll be back. Obviously, come and join us. No, I get it, Warwick. I get it. Do you know, I actually, with regards to that story, I actually found out about that one. I know it happened in 2012, but I didn't actually hear about it until 2013. And I watched, there was actually a documentary on YouTube about it. Obviously it's all it's Indian, all in subtitles. And what it was is on Netflix at the moment. I don't know if you've seen it, or I don't know if you'd want to watch it, but there's a show called Delhi Crime. And when I just, now I'm not a massive fan of Netflix, but I was looking through and I was like, oh, what's that one? And I went in, but I kind of knew. I knew before I pressed play. I thought, I think I know what this one is. Would I advise watching it? No, but not because the family agreed to it under the strict instructions that they don't reconstruct the actual attack. which they don't. They don't. There's none of the not even a slight reconstruction of the attack in the documentary. It's not even a documentary. It's kind of a I don't know what you'd call it. It's like it's based on the story, but it's loosely based on the story, and it's from the view of the paramedics and the police and everything else. The only thing I'm not a fan of it for, which I explained to Tiffany the other day, is I feel the changes that we've all noticed over the past couple of years have hit this documentary. And if ever you watch it, I'm not going to go into any more detail, I'll get myself into trouble. But if you watch it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Because given the country it's in, I find it very hard to believe that the leaders of all the departments are a certain sex. I just find it a bit hard to believe. That's all, if you choose to watch it. So I went back and watched the original documentary. And yeah, and that's where it all stemmed from. So yes, that's why. But yeah, so if you do go to watch it, I just want you to know that the reconstruction's not there. What did your little girl do for World Book Day? She was Cat in the Hat. She was Cat in the Hat. Now, she had been Cat in the Hat a couple of years ago. But what it was, because it was her assembly today and she had to wear a uniform, it had to be something I could put her into that wasn't too intricate, because we have done some mad ones over the years. So I found another Cat in the Hat, sort of an older version, I suppose. No, did he? Fabulous. That's not a book. Stop that now. That's not a book. So I got like an older version, which was like a jumpsuit and the hat. Ordered it. Came yesterday. No bow tie. No tail. No tail. It's not a book. Stop that now. Is it? And but we made do. She found a unicorn tail, use that. She's very good. She's very good. So after the assembly, I had to kind of rush her into the toilet, get her changed, YouTube how to do a proper cat face, which I did very well, if I say so myself, but used eyeliner. So there's going to be screaming here later when I'm scrubbing it off because it's waterproof. Oh, okay. No, I still can't believe there's a book, but okay. Okay, you'll have to prove it to me. No, I suppose there is, but with a school, okay. But yes, so she was Cat in the Hat. She was very proud of herself. She was. She looked very cute. She did look very cute, bless her. I done little space buns so she had little ears. Doing Chucky next year. Stop it, there's no child's play book. I'm not having it. I've got her telling me there's a Scream book. I'm not having that there's a Chucky book. I'm not having that at all. I'm having to play by the rules. Although I did let Lawson dress as Iron Man and Spider-Man a couple of years. But they're comics. They're still comic books. Is that no choice when he proved it? Okay, fine, very good. Excellent, though. Excellent. I love that. What can you say? I'd love to have seen their faces when he was like, yes, it is. Look, here's the book. Very funny. Yes, it's every year it causes me problems, but now the ones in secondary school, they're too cool for it now. Far too cool for World Book Day. Just don't bother it. Did I say hello to Natalie? I think I did. Jess, Tiff said you should have done her hair in a pea. Oh, I've slapped a bit of lippy on. Hold on. Slapped a bit of lippy on. And sent her as Moira Heenley. What does she mean? Oh, are you on about my child? Aha! That's fabulous, but no. Would it? It's not on par with Ghostface, though, really, is it? No. No. Oh, I'm twisted. I don't take. I pretend I didn't just say that. Please pretend I didn't just say that. I can't even take it back now. I can't even take that back. So no, she won't be dressing. Yous are terrible. Poor little cat in the hat, and you're trying to dress her up as, oh, that rotten woman. Oh, dear. Very good, though. Is he joking? Bronson, are you joking? Please tell me you're joking. Is he joking? Because I can't go into it with you, Bronson. Just look her up. Is he serious? I know it's before I was born, but still, come on. Everyone knows who that is. Stop that now. You've got, does he? Please answer me quickly and tell me you know who it is before I start this story, because I don't know, but you thought that. He's let his intrusive thoughts win. Would that class as intrusive thoughts? Bron, you're like, he's got to be lying, hasn't he? He has to be lying. But no, I can't allow that, though, Warwick. Although she is in many books, I understand there are a lot of books. So, based on Tiffany's precedent, I could do it. Absolutely. I feel like she's an actor. Oh, God. Google it. Do it. An actor. Oh, he's just awful. It will give him nightmares now, though. He's going to Google it and he will have nightmares. He won't come back again. Right. Do we know this story, guys? Do we know this one? I'm about to devastate you all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry in advance. I am. But I'm about to devastate you all on this Thursday evening. Just check. Not laughing now, are you? Either that or he's thick as pig shit. The boy, no, he's not. But he's not involved in this kind of. He's not involved in this kind of stuff. Oh, God, I didn't think of that for Lexi. Right, though, stop it. No. I see. Bron's not laughing anymore. Wait, why aren't you giggling now? Oh dear. Right, on that note, I'm going to start the story. I hope I've said hello to everyone. I think I did. And yes, it is a child, just letting you all know. There's an awful lot of them lately. I was looking through my live stories. There's so many. There's just so many. And you know, sometimes I'm like, how are we here again? But we are. So I'm going to yes, I'm going to do it for you. Okay? So let's go. Let me fix this. Let me do my little intro and we'll begin. Okay. Oh, let me get myself straight. I'm going to have to move Mick out the way. This half a screen drives me up the wall. I know, Natalie. I know. It's just, I don't even know what to say. I'll just be happy one day when there's none. And I'll be like, sorry, guys. I haven't got anything for you. You know, let's talk about sunshines and rainbows. But until then, you've got me. So, okay, I'm going to start my intro now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, True Crime with Jess Rose. Thank you so much for joining me again. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. I have my request evenings. If you do have any requests on a Tuesday, Thursday stories I like to bring to you. I am also on TikTok. I'm over there on the TikTok if you want to have a look. Or if you don't want to join in on the live, obviously I upload on here, my pre-recorded every Saturday and Sunday, although there'll only be one this week because I did miss Tuesday. Apologies, a bit poorly. So yeah, so thank you so much. Or if you'd like to comment and subscribe, I'd really appreciate that too. Or you can just sit and watch. And I'll appreciate that just as much. Thank you so much. So, okay, tonight's story, it is regarding a child, just to give you a little heads up there. And it's the devastating Gabby Barrett story. Okay, so Gabrielle Renee Barrett was born on the 3rd of July 2013 in Michigan. Okay, so it's an American story. Okay, her mum is Candice Diaz. Her dad is Kyle Barrett. Okay, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk a little bit about her mum for a second. Um, None of this is going to be an excuse for what I'm going to tell you as we progress uh, within the story. It's just, I think if I don't say it, it will be like, well, didn't you know this happened to her when she was little? So I'm gonna tell you about her mom, Candice, and then we can move on with Gabby then. So Candice, she was actually born in 94. All right. Don't know too much about her between the age of 0 to 4, but in 1998, like I say, age 4, she was left by her mother in the care of her grandmother. Okay. Now, apparently, her grandmother was a really heavy drinker, really, really heavy drinker, bordered alcoholic. I've heard heavy drinker, alcoholic. I've heard alcohol dependent. I've heard quite a few things. Needless to say, alcohol was high in her priorities. Okay. And whilst in her grandmother's care, there was a real terrible fire in the house. Okay. Now, Candice was severely burnt, badly, badly burnt. This little girl was. She ended up having to have many, many operations, skin grafts, to try and fix the damage that had been done in this fire. It is absolutely horrific. It's awful. I do agree. It's terrible. Now, both Candice's mum and her grandmother, were charged with second-degree criminal abuse, okay, for the fire. So Candice herself was placed with a relative called Cynthia Diaz. All right. Now, Cynthia loved Candice, loved her like she was her own. She genuinely did. She'd obviously seen that she'd had such a bad start to life, okay? And she just wanted to give her everything, okay? So Cynthia did. She doted on Candice, all right? So in 2000, when Candice was she's about age 7, Cynthia was given full custody of her. Okay, hence the reason Candice's surname is Diaz. Okay, Cynthia Diaz, Candice Diaz. All right, but when you see those two names, you might think that's her mum. It's not. It's not. Okay, it's just that she adopted her. All right. During about that time, they were living in Kentucky. They moved to Michigan. All right. Now, over the next few years, Candice lived a childhood that, she never would have had a doubt anyway. Had she stayed with a biological mom or a biological grandmother, based on what I've heard, I don't think she could have even dreamt of having the life that she had with Cynthia. All right. Cynthia did everything for her, made sure she went to school, made sure she was fed, clean, loved, Candice she had a really good chance of making it. She genuinely did. All right. But as she entered her teenage years, she started to rebel quite badly. All right. So Cynthia really did her best. She did her best to guide her and love her through her teenage years. Candice was, she didn't really want to know. She, we all know when you get to your teenage years and you get friends, boys, if you're a girl, if you're a boy, or vice versa, whatever it is, it turns your head. Things that your parents, grandparents, or your family members no longer have the same impact that they would have had a few years beforehand. Everything's about what your friends are doing, what your friends are saying. You listen to them more than your own family. We all go through that stage, but Candice didn't bounce back from it. she was quite a selfish girl. All right. So when she was 18, Candice begins a relationship with a lad called Kyle Barrett. Okay. Now, Candice, around 19, so they're not together long, she becomes pregnant and she has little Gabrielle Renee Barrett. Okay. And like I say, on the 3rd of July, 2013. Okay. So beautiful little girl. They all called her Gabby for short. Beautiful, beautiful little girl. And because of her obviously having Gabby, Cynthia had allowed Cole to move in. These are a young couple, but even given the fact that Candice hasn't done what Cynthia would have liked her to do, because she gave her the world. She wanted her to live, take on the world kind of thing, but she still supported her, and to that point supported Kyle, and doted on little Gabby. But it was such a short relationship anyway before she got pregnant. Candice and Cole break up quite soon. They don't really last that long after little Gabby's born. Probably, I've heard, a couple of months. That's about it. Okay. So we get to 2015. All right. Now, Gabby at this point, she's about 18 months, she's between 18 months and 2. All right. And Candice meets a man by the name of Brad Fields. Okay. Now, and if you've ever seen the series, I know it's been taken off everywhere, but if you've ever seen the series Little Britain, okay, there's a character in that show who is disabled, is in a wheelchair, okay, and he's kind of catchphrase, if you like, is I don't like it. Don't like it. I'm doing a terrible impression. That's who Brad looks like. Automatically, when I saw him, I was like, oh my God, that's who he looks like. And don't forget, this is a character. This isn't actually how this actor looks. It's a character he's playing. This is how Brad Fields looks. Oh God. Right. Okay. Now, Candice quite quickly starts staying over at Brad's really quickly. Okay. But she doesn't bring Gabby with her. No. She's all wrapped up in this new relationship with her Brad. Oh, don't let that name fool you. Don't let that name fool you. Okay? Because it's I don't know, when you hear the name Brad, any film that you've ever watched, an American film obviously, they're always quite a good looking guy. Yeah, don't let that name fool you. You'll understand why I'm so just dismissive of this guy very, very soon. But like I say, she's going around there a lot. She hasn't got a lot of time for Gabby now. Novelty's wore off, I suppose you could say. She's all loved up with a new fella, and the little girl she's got, she's not really interested anymore. So Cynthia, now remember, Cynthia is Candice's adopted mom. So Cynthia sees Gabby as her own granddaughter, and she dotes on her. She loves little Gabby, okay, and she dotes on her as she did with Candice when she was younger. And over the next 2 years, Candice just sees Gabby less and less. She doesn't bother with her. She's got no real interest in her. Now, in 2016, all right, what can I say? The novelty of the relationship between Brad and Candice, it's starting to wear off a little bit as well. And we start to realise that Brad's quite a violent man. Okay, he basically in 2016, I'm not exactly sure of the month, but it's reported that they have a huge fight where Brad, he starts hitting Candice, he punches her in the face. He's got a lot of guns in the trailer where he lives. Of course, it's a trailer, but that in a trailer. I take that back. I take that. Look, we go on holiday in caravans. Okay, I have no problem with them. I'm just the whole thing irritates me. All right. So he punches Candice in the face. And then like I say, he's got guns in there, and he starts shooting at her. All right, as she's trying to get away. And in the process of that, I don't know, did their dog that they had try and defend Candice? Did the dog get in the way? Was the dog barking and irritating? I don't know. But he chooses to shoot the dog. Right? The police, she runs out, she goes to a neighbour, the police come round, they arrest Brad. Police go into the house, the trailer, it's a hole. Okay, they find a rabbit that's on death's door, just in a cage. Obviously, the dog, I've looked, I don't know if the dog lives, but there's blood from Brad and the dog everywhere. Okay, so they've arrested Brad, but over the next couple of days, Candice is like, oh, he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. He's a bit schizophrenic, you see. He's got health problems. He's got mental problems. So I'm going to drop the charges. And she does. So there we go. They're back together. They're all loved up again. Let's forget that he's tried to shoot you and the dog and I don't know anything else in his eye line. Okay. Oh, now we get to 2017. All right. Now, little Gabby's age 4 at this point, and Cynthia wanted to enroll Gabby into. Obviously, our children start in the UK start school at 4. It would be it'd be the equivalent of American kindergarten. We call it obviously reception. Now their kindergarteners, if I'm right, don't start till I think they're 5. So what Cynthia wanted to do was enroll Gabby into like a preschool. All right. But she couldn't, because she wasn't Gabby's legal custodian. I'm so annoyed, because she'd been looking after Gabby a couple of years by this point. And by that point she had adopted Candice over the same time period when Candice had been given to her from her mum. So it's like, why didn't you try and adopt her? Maybe Candice wouldn't let her. It doesn't say, but she wasn't the custodian to Gabby, so she couldn't enroll her in preschool. Okay, so basically, Gabby, because of this, and because she had to be enrolled in preschool, she had to go and live with Candice and Brad. Okay, now Gabby doesn't really know Brad at all. And by this point, I'm gathering she doesn't particularly know Candice very well. I know it's her mum. I get that. But I'm not thinking she knows her very well. Now, Kyle, her dad, she was in contact with him. She was in contact with her paternal side of her family. But Candice, no, not so much. And now she's been made to give up the only stability she's ever known, living with Cynthia. And she's got to go and live with her mum. The fingers are up. And this man, she doesn't know. She's only 4. All right. Now, also, let me add, Candice and Brad, a little bit busy in that time. They've gone on and they've had a little girl together called Zoe. All right. So, which would obviously be little Gabby's half sister. Okay. So I think they had her in about 2016. So when Gabby moves in, she's probably about, I don't know, 1. All right. So for the most part, it said that Zoe was very well looked after, very loved. You know, everything was fine with Zoe. So I won't mention anything more about her little sister. Okay. Now, remember I mentioned the trailer and I said, bit of a hole. Yeah. When I say it was a bit of a hole, I'm not exaggerating. The police who'd gone in there when this domestic violence episode had occurred, oh, they said it was awful. They says there was flies everywhere because of the rubbish everywhere, rubbish, old food, containers, just disgusted, dishes piled this high in the sink, dog mess everywhere, like I say, the rabbit cage, just a disgusting hole. I have no other words for it, okay? And this is the home that little Gabby, not only little Gabby, let's face it, there's a baby in that trailer as well. But little Gabby who'd only known love and care, and from what I can gather and what I've heard, she was very well kept. She was very well looked after. She's only known that. And now she's thrown into not only a whole of a home, but a couple that she doesn't really know. She knows one of them she's supposed to call mum, but Brad she doesn't know. And now she's living with them full time. Now, that'd be daunting for anybody. But a 4-year-old child, I can imagine it'd be stuff nightmares are made of. And very, very quickly after little Gabby moves in, now remember it's about September 2017, okay? Very quickly after she moves in, they begin mistreating her really quickly, okay? Now, Gabby had been toilet trained. She'd been toilet trained from about the age of 18 months, 2 years. You know, never had any problems in that way. Didn't really wet the bed. She might have the odd accident every now and again, like any child. She's 4. But for the most part, fully toilet trained, no problems, okay? But after a whole world upended, let's face it, she begins to have little accidents, okay? That's how it starts. But this infuriates Brad. This infuriates that man. Now, although Gabby had moved in, Candice did have a job, I believe. All right. So while she was at work, Brad would be looking after Gabby and little Zoe. Okay. A 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. Yep. Handful. No 2 ways about it. But the fact that she happened to have a couple of accidents would lead to him beating this child. Not only him, but when he would message Candice at work to tell her, I can't use the language that he used to describe this little girl, but when he would message Candice to tell her, you know, she's done it again, or she's shit everywhere, was the language used, or she's pissed everywhere. It's a 4-year-old little girl. Not she's had an accident. Not, you know, don't worry, I've cleaned it up. You know, she's fine. It's okay. You know, she's had a little accident. We've sorted it out. She's fine. She's happy. None of that. No, she's shit everywhere. I don't know what to do with her. She's doing it on purpose to me. Candice's response was, well, beat her ass. That's her mum. Beat her ass. Or wait until I get home. Just very threatening messages back about what she was going to do to Gabby when she got home. All right. And obviously, the more they're beating her, the more accidents she's having. It's a sign. It's one of you know, it's a real telltale sign. You know, we hear it all the time. Okay, and Now, remember, obviously, Cynthia wasn't authorised to send Gabby to preschool, because she wasn't her guardian. So Candice had begun sending Gabby to preschool, which is very unusual in these cases, but she had. And the school said she never had any accidents at school. She was fine. Happy-go-lucky little girl. Which is so sad because she was obviously going into school and that was kind of her escape, I suppose. But that's what was going on at home. And it's like, oh God, poor little soul. They would hit her in the face. Look, when I say hit her in the face, punch her. They'd hit her all over her little body. All over. Okay. They loved to give her ice cold baths, as punishment for wetting herself. And in one of the messages where Candice is like, just beat her ass or something, he's like, don't worry, I've scratched her. Something like that. And basically what they would do, they would get their fingernails into her back and scratch her down her back. They also made her take Adderall. Okay, a medication that she didn't need, wasn't prescribed to her. She didn't need it. She's 4. Okay, let's remember that. And it would suppress her appetite. Okay, so obviously suppresses her appetite. She can't eat. She's not hungry, and she can't eat. Well, remember how Scotty McMillan's stepdad reacted to that, don't we? That's an insult, that is. You don't eat, even though I'm giving you something that's stopping you being hungry and I'm hurting you, but you will eat. So, of course, infuriates him more. She's furious with Gabby too, she being Candice, to the point where he shanked her with a fork. His words, shanked her. So then they begin making her wear a black bin liner. And the second I heard that, all I could think of was Victoria Climbier. I mean, why is that the answer? She no longer had a bed. Obviously, the bedding had gone because she'd had accidents. They didn't think to wash it. So it meant that she no longer had a bed. So she would have to sleep in the living room, the freezing living room. It's winter, let's remember by now. All she had was a black bag to keep her warm. That was it. And what they would do, they'd start putting her in nappies, which reminded me then of Sarah Sharif. And because they would leave them on her for hours and hours and hours in her own filth. I mean, oh God. And we know most of this. You might be wondering, how do we know all of this? Well, we know most of this because they'd message each other, as I've said, just vile messages between the two, mainly when Candice was obviously out of the house at work or shopping, wherever she was. And that's how we know what they were discussing, what they were doing. It's just awful. Apparently, it was on Facebook Messenger they were sending these messages. There was also videos of him torturing Gabby and videos of her being... She was thrashing around on the floor in a black bag. The trial, not the whole trial, but it is on online. And we don't get to see, but the prosecution sort of looks, and you can see little Gabby thrashing around on the floor in the black bag, and he was laughing. Found it quite funny. Now we get to the 31st of December 2017. Now remember, little Gabby only moved in in the September. It's been 3 months. That's it. 3 months. Okay. Now it's New Year's Eve, and Brad and Candice decide to put up a photo. They decide to post a New Year's Eve picture, wishing everyone a happy New Year's Eve. It's a really sweet picture with Candice and Brad, and they're holding little baby Zoe. But Gabby's not in the picture. Gabby's not there because they can't put her in the picture because this poor child is black and blue. So they can't put her in the picture. But it's just them, their happy little family. So we get to the 1st of January 2018, New Year's Day. So the next day after they posted that lovely picture, all right, remember that picture, all right? And Candice, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and Candice calls Cynthia, okay, to say Gabby's unconscious, all right? She doesn't call 911, no, she calls Cynthia, all right? Now, Cynthia lives about half an hour away, but she turns up at the house, and when she walks in, she tells them to call 911, and Candice finally calls 911, right? Now, when the paramedics turn up, what Candice actually says happened was that Gabby loved baths. She loved baths, apparently, okay? And what she would do, she would sneak into the bathroom, apparently, and pour herself a bath, okay? Now, the day before, so they say, New Year's Eve, day of the picture, Gabby had run herself a bath, right? And it had been boiling hot, and she'd really burnt herself, okay? And Candice had got her, and, she said, but she was okay. She was all right. It wasn't too bad. So today, this morning, she wanted to have another bath. So I poured her another bath. I ran her another bath. I don't know why I keep saying pour. I ran her another bath. Made sure it was lukewarm. All right. And I put her in there, and I went to make pancakes. I went to make breakfast, like little old Mary Poppins that she considering herself. Look, she's trying to put herself across. All right. So this is what Candice is saying has happened to little Gabby. She says that when she walked into the bathroom about an hour later, because apparently Gabby loved very long baths, when she walked in, Gabby was face up, floating unconscious in the bath. Okay? So she pulled her out. She phoned Cynthia, phoned 911. Now, what the paramedics noticed, because they've been called for a suspected drowning, that's what they've been called for. Now, when they get there, they see that not only is the bath dry, all right, so is Gabby, this suspected drowning, all right. Now, when 911 was called, they were obviously told to do CPR. Paramedics say when they walked in, there was no CPR being performed by any of the adults in the house, not Candice, not Brad, and not Cynthia. Okay, none of them were performing CPR. All right. Now, Gabby remains unresponsive. Okay, so the paramedics put little Gabby in the ambulance. They do a check to see if she's got any water in her lungs. Funny enough, there was no water in her lungs for this suspected drowning. Okay. Candice goes to the hospital with her. Brad stays at home to look after Zoe. But on that day, on the 1st of January 2018, New Year's Day, when it would have been, a new year of, adventures and, going into a new year at school come the next September and, looking forward to the summer and everything else. No, little Gabby dies. Okay. She dies shortly after arriving at the hospital. All right. So, now, like I say, paramedics, they did notice that the bath, the floor, and all three adults in that house were dry. But what they did say that the back of Gabby's hair was damp, but that was it from this drowning. All right. But what they did notice that she had burns, a lot of burns to her body. They noticed that while they were trying to resuscitate her. Okay. But as I said, there was no water in little Gabby's lungs and there was no pruning to her hands. Now you imagine someone's in a bath. You're in a bath for like 20 minutes, your hands start to prune up, your fingers. No pruning to this little girl's hands after being in the bath for an hour, apparently. Now, while Candice was at the hospital, her and Brad were messaging each other. Now, the police are at the trailer now, okay? And Candice is at the hospital, but they're messaging each other. And you might be like, oh, are they messaging, how's Gabby, how is she, is she going to put through? No. They were messaging because Candice was telling Brad to get rid of everything because I'm going to jail. But what? And then Brad replying going, well, I'm going to jail because they want to search this house. I'm sorry, why? So, a warrant for the iPhone and the trailer is authorised really quickly. For their phone, sorry, and the trailer is authorised. All right. So when they're searching the trailer, what they notice in the bathroom, in the drain, okay, there's not only chunks of Gabby's hair in that drain, there are chunks of this little girl's skin in the bath drain. Chunks of her skin. Then they find rubbish bags containing like bloody gauze, more chunks of hair, hydrogen peroxide, another tonic agent. They noticed that, again, like I say, there was no bedding on Gabby's bed in her room, but her bed had been put up against the wall, so it's quite obvious this little girl had nowhere to sleep. This is what the police are saying. So it looks really bad. It looks really bad, but they still can't quite pin together what's happened. They just know it wasn't drowning. It can't have been. So we get to the autopsy of little Gabby, okay? Now, the pathologists put her cause of death as septic shock, okay? There was no sign of drowning at all, okay? So her cause of death was septic shock and battered child syndrome, okay? Obviously, her manner of death is homicide. It's quite obvious, all right? Now, what the pathologist noticed is there's blunt force trauma on this child, thermal and asphyxia injuries, meaning that she was suffocated by a hand being put over her mouth and nose, all right? There's burns all over this little girl's body, second-degree burns all over her, okay? She had vomit in her lungs, possibly while the hand was held over her mouth and nose. I don't know, but there was vomit in her lungs. She had caffeine and amphetamines in her blood, which would be why she couldn't eat. She couldn't sleep. She had scars, like lacerations in her head. Not only that, riddled with lice, riddled with head lice. but in there as well, there was lacerations. The lacerations were caused from her hair being ripped out of her scalp. 4 years old. She's got lacerations because someone was ripping her hair out by the scalp. Lacerations and bruises all over this little girl. She was black and blue. She was black and blue. Her big toe, it had melted off. They basically put her in water so hot, it had melted her toe off. It had melted her skin off. That's why they were finding chunks of her skin down the plug hole. So remember when I said, remember New Year's Eve and that lovely little family picture they posted? This little girl was either burning in that bath or she was in agony after being forced into that boiling water and getting her hair ripped out. I don't know how long that was going on for. She was malnourished, because obviously she wasn't eating, was she? Because they were drugging her up. And it wasn't just because of that. She couldn't eat because her teeth were decayed. They were so decayed. It said that she would have been in agony from that alone. And it said she would have been in agony right up until she died. From all these injuries, all this pain they were putting her through. They had her for 3 months. That was it. 3 months. Well, Brad and Candice, what more can you say about two innocent people? Well, they went on the run, because they were so innocent. They pack up and they leave. So when the police go around, they've gone. So there's a warrant put out for their arrest. And to be honest, they're picked up after a couple of days. They're picked up very, very fast. And they tried to lie and say, no, we was coming back. We just wanted to, get things straight. But we was going to come back and hand ourselves in. Oh, God. So they're obviously brought back. They're arrested and charged. Now, Brad, well, they both were charged with first-degree homicide, second-degree homicide, first-degree child abuse, and torture. That's what they're both charged with, okay? Now, Kyle, remember? Gabby's dad? Well, he'd been in touch with Gabby. It's not that he wasn't on the scene at all. But the last time he'd seen her was also September, when she'd gone to move in with Candice. And the reason it was the last time he'd seen her is he was in jail. Okay? Plonker. But he was released, but it was too late. He wasn't released until the 3rd of January 2018. Just 2 days after she died. Okay? His family absolutely idolised that. His dad, obviously Gabby's grandfather, said, if we'd have known, we'd have took her, we'd have looked after her, we doted on her. It was only 3 months. No, it's a long time, to not see your child. But they didn't know, they didn't realise that Candice would have changed this much. But it's a new man in your daughter's life. I'm just a bit like, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so we get to the trial in October 2018. Okay, it's Brad's trial. All right. Now, both of them, up until this point, had blamed their mental illnesses. It was their mental health. Of course it was. She was like, I've got bipolar and I've got PTSD. Don't forget. Now, remember, I told you when she was 4, Candice, she was left in that burning house by her grandmother after being, discarded by her own mum. Okay. Is that why she burnt Gabby? So, because it had been done to her? I don't know. I haven't heard that said anyway. It just resonated with me when it's like, when, she's 4, she was 4, Gabby was 4, is that what she was cutting up? I don't know. But yes, PTSD, and I've got bipolar, and I'm stressed, and I've got anxiety. Oh, that's why you killed your daughter then. Right, got it. Anyway, Brad claims the same. It's PTSD. I don't know what his PTSD was over. I've no idea. Okay. Now the defense for Brad blames Candice. They blame Candice, all right? Because they say, well, look at the messages she was sending from work. And there was a lot of them. There was a lot of messages with her saying, I'm going to beat her ass when I get home. You also, but you did have messages from him going, I'm going to piss on her. He actually says, I'm going to piss on her. I'm going to drown her in my piss. Lovely, lovely. And do you want to know what Mummy of the Year said in response to that? Do you want anything from McDonald's? Do you want anything from McDonald's, babe? I mean, oh, it's just sickening. It's absolutely sickening. Now you do have Cynthia who gets on the stand, and I was so torn by this. Because this woman, it seems that she's trying to defend Candice, and she's trying to help her. Don't think she's trying to. I don't believe she's trying to help Brad, but I think she's definitely trying to help Candice. And she's like, what did you walk into when you walked into the bathroom? Now, she didn't help her because she said that the bathroom was completely dry. Now, remember, they said it was little Gabby had drowned. But she does say we were all doing CPR, and so then they ask her, when did you last see Gabby? And she says she saw her at Thanksgiving, and then she said she saw her on Christmas Day, okay, which is only a week before Gabby was murdered, all right? Now, remember the injuries are listed of this little girl. These weren't done overnight. These weren't even done in a week. These have been going on for months. And you see her answer the questions, and the prosecutor saying to her, what, when you saw her, how did she look? And she's like, she looked fine. What about her hair? Fine. What about her teeth? Fine. So she looked okay. Yeah, she looked fine. And I just thought, you're a liar. You're a liar. Because again, it's not something we can see, but in the trial, the prosecution does say, look, here's a photo of Gabby around September of 2017. And now here she is 3 months later. A part of me is kind of glad I didn't see that, because I don't know what the photo showed. But what I do know is Brad was sat there just looking up at it, just looking up at the pictures, not even looking away, not even looking down, just looking up, staring at the pictures. Oh, just vile, absolute vile. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Cynthia, to be honest. I wanted to believe that she loved that little girl. Maybe because Gabby had gone, maybe she thought she could protect Candice. Maybe she put it all down to Brad and had convinced herself it was all Brad's fault. I don't know, but I just felt she was a traitor to that little girl. That's how I felt about it. And I could be very wrong, but what I saw on the stand was a traitor to that little girl. That's what I saw. Ah, now that, like I say, the prosecution, she was very good, very loud. The prosecution in the case, but she was very good. You know, when I watched some of the trial before, I did get a bit irritated by her. The judge kept on having to step in to say, you know, what about this, or what do you mean by this? Because obviously you have to explain what you're saying to the jury at all times. But you know what? In the end, her summing ups were brutal. They were. So we get to the 9th of October 2018, and Brad is found guilty. He's found guilty of all his charges, and he's sentenced to life without parole. Okay, that's Brad. He'll never get out. No death sentence, but you know, at least he'll never see the light of day again. All right. Now, on the 5th of December 2018, the coward that is Gabby's so-called mother, she takes a plea deal, which I don't think there should have been. I don't think there should have been a plea deal. I really don't. I don't think so. Okay. But she pleads guilty to second-degree homicide and first-degree child abuse. And she's sentenced to 30 to 60 years. Now, it's a very long time, you know, given our justice system. I understand that. But why did she get less than him? I'd need sense to be made of that. I'd need someone to make that make sense to me. Why did she get less than him? Because we know she was involved, and we know she was part of the last couple of days of agony that Gabby was in. We know that. We know she was witness to it. And not only witness to it, took part in it. So why did she only get, why she got the ability where she might see the light of day again? I don't know. But judge, or I've heard him, I've said judge, but I do know I've seen someone say Justice Vonda Evans. She's had 21 years on the bench, and she was, I got to admit, she was ace. If you do watch the trial, she is very, very good. And she ripped Candice apart. She absolutely ripped her apart on that stand. On her, what do you call it, where the judge sits? On her section. I don't know what I call it. But she basically says that when a woman gives birth, they are closer to death than you are more closer to death than life when a woman gives birth, okay? And she says it's one of the most beautiful and fulfilling parts of being a woman. She goes, but you killed your daughter for the love of a bum named Brad. She calls him a loser. She calls her a female breeder. She says, you're not a mother, you're a female breeder. Oh, she's brutal. She's absolutely brutal. And then she goes into listing the messages that were sent between them, right down to Candice mentioning, you know, beat her ass when he says that she's had another accident. You know, just she annihilates her during that summing up. She genuinely does. It's unusual to see a judge going that hard, and I thought she was very good, but I just don't understand why a plea deal was accepted. Why it was offered, I don't understand. I don't think they would have needed it, but I don't know. I don't understand the law to that degree. You know, would it have been hard because he'd been sentenced? You know, would it have then been her defense saying, well, hang on a minute, you've got the murderer, you know, she needs to go home? I don't know. All right. So it could be down to that. But yeah, I think she should have got life without parole. The same. They both should have got the same. Both should have got a death sentence, if you ask me. But Life without parole, I would have been kind of comfortable with. But yeah, that was the devastating Gabby Barrett story. Just utterly heartbreaking. Just such a 4 years old. And I keep going back to the fact that Candice, uh, Candice, um, Candice was 4 as well when she was born. Was there just this lack of sympathy for her own daughter because she'd gone through pain? Maybe she thought, well, I went through it, she can go through it. I don't know. I don't know if that went through. I don't know if I'm even giving her, look, it's not a benefit of the doubt as such. It's just like whether I'm even giving her a reason. Maybe there wasn't one. Maybe there was nothing. But it just made me think of the age. It was like, is that why? Is that why you didn't show her sympathy? Because you felt your mum didn't show you any? I just don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, like I say, it's a devastating Gabby Barrett story. Thank you so much for joining me again. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, just awful. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. or I am over on TikTok. I think it's Jess Rose. I think 4472 maybe. I'm not too sure. But my Patreon's patreon.com/Jess Rose 4472. Or if you'd just like to subscribe, I'd really appreciate that too. Or just thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that. I really do. So I'm back next Tuesday. And obviously if you can't join the live, these go up on my pre-recorded ones at the weekend after the live. So you'll get to see them anyway. So thank you so much again. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Take care. What are you doing? Where is he? Where is he? When a man gives birth, a man is close to death if he looks down. I tell you what. I tell you what. Oh, thank you, sis. Thank you. Ah, I have no words for you, Warwick. I have no words. Tell you what. How are we all, though? Are we all okay? Oh, it's just awful, wasn't it? Oh, just awful. It's just so... Oh, it just gets your stomach going, doesn't it? So, so sad. How are we all, though, after that? Have I devastated you all for the weekend? What are we all up to the weekend? Are we all up to anything exciting? I might have a game of pool on Saturday if the weather allows us. Just speaking my truth. Don't you dare with your my truth. I don't like my truth. I don't deal well with my truth. Looky, get me on my soapbox. And I've only just finished. Don't get me on my soapbox. My truth. Look, I'm spitting and everything. Stop it. Stop it now. Oh dear. How are we? Is Branson still here? Or has he gone off to find out about the woman who shall not be named? Ooh. Are you going out? You are going out on Saturday. Is that something I know about? Do I know about that? Have I just forgotten? Am I being pants? Or did I not know? Did I not know? Is it an occasion? I know you went out last week for the birthday. Or is that this week? Is Hayley here anyway? I haven't seen Hayley either. Is she all right? I saw, I think I saw her at the beginning. But I don't know if I saw her again then. No, I didn't see. I was thinking then, did I know? And you've told me and we've had the conversation. I've just completely forgot. Thought, there's that thoughtfulness again. There she is, rearing her head, rearing her ugly head. I'm so thoughtful. My goodness. Do you know, I'm cold, but I'm hot. I don't think I'm well still. My stupid leg, my goodness, it's played up tonight. Did anyone notice if I moved around too much, though? Did you notice? Oh, is she multitasking? What's she up to? Is she cleaning? She's got a broom up her ass. She's looking at us. She's doing it all. She's very good. She's very, very good. What about you, Phil? Are you working this weekend? Are you working, or have you got your weekend? Are you all free and it was lovely and warm today. You didn't move a lot. Oh, okay, thank you. It's lovely and warm today. You didn't move a lot. It was warm today. Is that why you thought I didn't move a lot? No, that's late. Cheeky, cheeky, cheeky. I don't know if she's into that. I don't know. I haven't heard. I don't know her that well. I'll ask her one day. But no, I'm not. I haven't. I'm a div. Me. I'm a div. Are you talking to me? Because I said you said it was warm. Are you saying it's warm because of my knee? Though, because I didn't move. I mean, because you were talking about it being warm. Because it was warm because of my knee. I'm so confused. I'm being dippy tonight, and I'm not meaning to be. It's my fan, Warwick. It's my fan. I got rid of the big one. It's this. I hold it up so because you can hear the zzz. So you know what it is? It's my fan. I got this for my birthday. It's ace. Do you know? And I charge this probably once a month, if that. What? Where are we? Did I get it? No, I got it for Christmas. Did I get it for Christmas? Maybe it was Christmas. Why am I saying my birthday then? Was it my birthday or Christmas? I can't remember. But I've had it for a while. I feel like I've had it for longer than Christmas. Mind you, it is March, isn't it? Maybe it was Christmas. Just doesn't feel like it was Christmas. I can't remember anyway, but I've had it for a long time and it helps me rather than the big noisy old fan. It's quite, and I can just hold it down. He's so cheeky. He is so cheeky. But I still don't know what you mean. I don't know what you meant. Oh, it's warm because of my fan. Is that what you're on about? Oh, I don't know. I mean, do you know, I told you there's a delay. I don't know until I watch it afterwards, and then I see the comment come up, and then I'm looking, and I don't answer for probably about another 10, 15 seconds. Okay, right. Oh, it's warm because of the fact, right. Bum. I get it now. Oh, and that's why I was moving. That took a while. I'm so sorry. That took a while. I'm so sorry. Oh, God, Phil, I'm very slow this evening. Oh, my God. But like I say, there's a delay. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'll say something. You'll reply. I don't get it for ages. And then by the time I read it, I'm like, what did I say? Oh, it's just terrible. It really is. I'm awful. It's getting hot. It is getting hot in here. The summer's on its way. The summer's on its way. I don't know how good this is going to be come this summer. I will say, although it's very good, it has 2 speeds. It has 2 speeds. I can be. Do you know what I did today? Shall I tell you all? Shall I tell you all a secret? What I did today, right? I noticed something on the YouTube. Okay, just happened to come across it earlier, and there's a competition. There's a competition for true crime creators, right? Now I haven't been asked, I haven't been entered, but I emailed them and said, "Can I be entered?" I did do this, and I says, because there's lots of categories, and there's a category for what's it called now? For awareness. You know, for the awareness of and keeping, you know, the victims' like names alive. You know, obviously, you know, that's what we do. Um, and I thought I could go into that category, so I emailed them and I says, "I know I'm a Tina, I hope you can dance better than you can sing. Me, I can dance much better than I can sing, Warwick. Yeah, yeah. The singing shocking. Singing, Tiffany and Hayley are my witness. I do sing on karaoke. I love to sing on karaoke, but it's horrific. It's very bad. Mike has to be held away from these angelic tones because I couldn't cope with the music deal. But yeah, but I am a much better dancer than I am a singer, I think. I think, she says. Um, but yeah, so I asked them to enter me. I think they have to, I think they come to you and say, we'd like to enter you, but I've requested myself and I've said, can I be part of it? Even though I have a teeny channel. And I spoke about you guys and I says, I have, Jess can dance, she can shit drop, slut. Oh, I thought you said shit drop, slut drop. And so can you. Although I can't these days. I don't know. I don't know if I could manage to even slightly. I don't know if I could. What's the opposite of slut? Slightly bad girl drop. I don't think I could even do that these days. It's terrible. But yeah. So I've tried to enter myself into this true crime competition on the YouTube. So just to let you know, I'm a beg. That's what I am. I'm a beg. So I'll let you know if anything comes of it anyway. Because they might not even let me. They might not even let me join. But I just thought it was on another creator's channel. So I thought, ask me. No, you can't vote yet because I'm not even in the competition. I've just asked, can I be? They haven't even nominated me. They haven't even asked me. I emailed them. I found the email address and I was like, I've had a channel since 2019 for 6 years. So, what time's that? Oh, boom. Oh, he's on one tonight, hasn't he? But I want to be entered into this, all right? This is the enter I want. I want this one. I want this enter. But yeah, so I emailed them. So I'm waiting to hear, can I be in the competition, please? Even if I'm just, and I went into like a real small category. I said, can I join this category? So they haven't come back to me yet. It's my, so yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. I'll let you know if they email me back. They probably won't. They're probably going to be like, who is this girl? Go away. Don't come near us again. It looks a very posh competition, but we shall see. Right, I think it's jingle time, guys. I think it's that time of a Thursday. Did Bronson just disappear? Do you know, you can only ask. Are you laughing at my kisses? But yes, thank you. Yes, let me remember, because I haven't remembered the past couple of times. So thank you to Tiffany and Hayley, my moderators extraordinaire. I don't know where Hayley's gone, but if she sees it, thank you to her too. Thank you to Warwick and Phil, of course. I think I saw Natalie. I think that was it. Is that it? I think that's it, isn't it? I haven't forgotten anyone, have I? Oh, and Bronson, of course. Bronson. But yeah, if you could afterwards, oh, Warwick, that's nice of you. Thank you. Oh, that's very nice. It was just I got a bit of a bee in my bonnet this afternoon because I was like, about me. Look over here. Look what we do over here. Because I was like, you should see my live. I just put my live group as well. I says they come on twice a week to my lives without fail. I says they're so cool. They're a nice bunch. I called yous all. So yeah, I roped yous all in. We're all in on it. So there we go. You see, I'm not just going to bring myself up. I'm bringing yous all with me. You're all coming with me. But yes. So if yeah, when it goes up, if you could comment and subscribe, comment and like, I'd really appreciate it. But have a fantastic week, guys. Not week, weekend, not week, because I'm back on Tuesday. And yes, I will see you all next Tuesday. Thank you so much again. And if you could like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Look, comment and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Look, comment and subscribe now. I really hope they don't watch that bit. They'll never vote me if I'm doing that. Look, comment and subscribe, guys. Please. Thank you. Have a fabulous weekend and I'll see you all next week. Bye. Bye, guys. Oh, that's a big finger in the camera, isn't it? Night. I know, very aggressive. I know, I'm so sorry. Night, guys.